planning to upgrade at quarterback even before this decision on Alex Smith. It tried and failed to trade for Matthew Stafford. They've looked into quarterbacks such as Sam Darnold and Marcus Mariota. The draft is always an option, but so too is trying to find a low-cost veteran to pair with Kyle Allen and Taylor Heineke to provide a competent quarterback trio. They'll save $14.7 million by releasing Smith so they can invest more of that on offense. They need another speed receiver alongside Terry McLaurin. They need a better left tackle in the starting lineup. Bolster the roster. That way, they can be more aggressive finding their guy in 2022.
Now, since Kirk Cousins left town prior to the 2018 season, Washington's search for a long-term quarterback has been a constant cycle of swiping right and then blocking. 7 different dudes have suited up in D.C. since 2018. That's tied for the most in the NFL. And Smith posted an 11-5 record as Washington's starter, while the other QBs combined to go 6-26.
It's always tough to move on. Thank you, Houston. I love you.
So J.J. Watt posted Monday this picture of him working out in an Arizona Cardinals shirt with the text source, me. Seems like a clue. And in fact, it was. J.J. Watt, late of the Texans, now going to tackle people on behalf of the Arizona Cardinals. Terms were not disclosed, but Adam Schefter wouldn't leave it alone. He tells us it's $23 million guaranteed, 31 over 2 years if he stays. Watt spent 10 years in Houston. He was released by the team earlier this month at his request.
I'm very excited. My wife and I are very excited to be here. Mr. Bidwell, Steve, everybody here has been unbelievable so far. And I'm just excited to get started. I'm very excited to get started, get to work, get to know the people of Arizona, and to go to work to try and help them win a championship. And the one thing that I can promise you is I'm going to work my ass off every single day to make you proud. And I'm very proud to be a part of the Bird Gang in the Red Sea. So let's get started.
He immediately bought an airplane and several cars. So here's what the Cardinals are getting with the addition of Watt. Since entering the league in 2011, he leads the league in disrupted dropbacks and ranks second in sacks behind just Von Miller. Watt, one of 3 players in NFL history to win the Defensive Player of the Year award 3 times, along with Lawrence Taylor and Aaron Donald. Louis Riddick discussed.
Someone who has played this game at a tremendously high level, who has set a standard for how you go about preparing yourself in the offseason, conducting yourself during the season, and then having it manifest itself towards putting quarterbacks on the ground once we get to Sundays. That is something that you want on your football team. I don't care what stage you are in your program build, whether you're a program that's already on the move and you're already contending for championships, or you're still on the rise and you're trying to get there. JJ is a positive in that regard. In Arizona, there's no doubt he will have a positive impact on a guy like Isaiah Simmons. He'll have a positive impact on a guy like Chandler Jones. That's exactly what you want in today's NFL. In an NFL that is all quarterback driven right now, the only way to combat them is to have guys like this.
Yeah, Seattle, let's protect the passer. So Watt and Chandler Jones teaming up for a ferocious duo of pass rushers. Let's go next gen on you, the craft beer, vinyl records guys. Jonah Watt ranked first and second in the NFL in sacks since 2012, which was Jones's rookie season. And that's despite the fact both players have dealt with injuries during that span, including Jones last season. He was limited to 5 games with a biceps injury. Jones could help take some of the pressure off of Watt. He was double-teamed as an edge rusher 30% of the time in 2020. That's the highest rate among qualified players. Despite being double-teamed that often, Watt still ranked in the top 10 in pass rush win rate and run-stop win rate. Watt joins the Cardinals defense that was already one of the best in the NFL at getting to the passer. Arizona racked up 48 sacks last season, tied for 4th most in the league. Pressured the quarterback 31% of dropbacks, 9th in the league. New-look Cardinals defense. Protect that guy. All right, so this surfaced on the internet Monday, an exchange between Chandler Jones and Watt on Instagram after the Texans released JJ, not tampering. Chandler wrote, "If you come here, I'll be your personal chef. Monday and Wednesdays are free." JJ responded with laughing emojis. Then Monday, Jones reposted the whole conversation and added, "So, what'd you want to eat? LOL." JJ then released a picture of a kitten chasing a ball of yarn.
I'm very excited. My wife and I are very excited to be here. Mr. Bidwell, Steve, everybody here has been unbelievable so far. And I'm just excited to get started. I'm very excited to get started, get to work, get to know the people of Arizona, and to go to work to try and help them win a championship. The one thing that I can promise you is I'm going to work my ass off every single day to make you proud, and I'm very proud to be a part of the Bird Gang and the Red Sea, so let's get started.
Perks of private aviation. You just get off the plane and there's your car. Per Adam Schefter, the deal's worth $31 million, $23 guaranteed. That'd bring Watt's career earnings to over $130 million. Already one of just 5 defensive players in NFL history to eclipse 9 figures in career earnings. He turns 32 in 3 weeks, coming off a healthy and productive 2020 season, one of 2 edge rushers in the game to rank in the top 10 in both pass rush and run stop win rate. The other, Washington rookie Chase Young. Watt, it's his job to rush the quarterback, and that's a good thing because the Cardinals, they blitzed on 38% of opponent dropbacks over the last 3 seasons, second highest rate by any team over that span, trailing only the Ravens at 42%. And I guess this is just how things go now. J.J. Watt had to explain that the alleged Peloton bike account that was going to narrow down his choices wasn't his, and this was not long before he announced himself, as you saw, he was headed to Arizona. Hard to know for sure who else was actually in contention for his services, but it hardly seems coincidental that all the teams you heard about were playoff teams last season, with the exception of Arizona, who was in it until the final week of the season. Point being, on the back 9 of a Hall of Fame career, Watt ought to be seeking big dough for the production he is still capable of on a team who provides an opportunity that Houston did not. Cardinals are in the deepest division in the NFL. The presence of Watt and Chandler Jones together means they might not have to blitz as much to get home. Speaking of that division and the depth of it, Arizona's odds to win the division shifted slightly from plus 700 to plus 600, which that's still the longest odds